Right, welcome back. This is part 6 of 6 for chapter 1, English Conversation 616 for humans who talk to humans. I'm one of them that talks to other humans and myself from time to time. This is the review quiz for chapter 1. So we're going to put all the information we should have learned and see what we can remember. So what does binge watch mean? If you binge something, what does it mean? Well, we'll answer the question in a sentence. Binge watch means to watch a lot of episodes at the same time or in a row. Or in a row. Or in a short space of time. Right, so we'll do that like that now. That's what binge watch means. Now, if you remember, we can have binge eat, have binge drink, and somebody said binge sleep. That's like hibernation. It's not such a bad idea. So if you binge eat, you might eat lots of chocolate and snacks and ice cream all very quickly, and then you feel very sick afterwards. So it's considered not healthy or good. If you binge drink, when we binge drink, it's really talking about alcohol, right? So you binge drink alcohol, too many beers, 6 or 7 pints, a bottle of wine or 2 bottles of wine in an evening. That's not considered healthy, although from time to time it's fine for a lot of people. But medically speaking, that would be technically considered a binge. So we can use that expression for that. If you overeat or overdrink in a short space of time, this is a new expression. I think we didn't cover that in the lesson, but short space of time. What do you call the last episode of a season? So we'll use the text within the question. The last episode of a season is called, right? The last episode of a season is called, right? You can have the or a season finale. Right, I think sounds better. It's called a season finale. So we'll put a line through that. It's okay as well. The season finale is called the season finale, and it's a season finale. If you want to change last, you could have final. Right, both of those words are synonymous with each other in this particular context. Fill in the blank. New episodes usually, got a few options here. Key word is drop. New episodes usually drop on Fridays. We might want to use come out on Fridays. We could use come out in a different sentence, not talking about episodes. We might want to talk about movies. So actually, in many countries around the world, new movies at the cinema, right? At the cinema, many movies come out on Fridays. In South Korea, they come out on Wednesdays. Very, very lucky here in South Korea because you get movies a couple of days before everyone else. Which is why it's important to understand spoilers, because you could spoil the movie for everyone. What is the MCU short for? Now, what is it short for is the same as saying, I'll write the question in a different way. What does MCU stand for? Oh, my pen is dying. I think Thanos clicked and the ink is gone. What does the MCU stand for? So we'll answer that one and we'll answer the one up here. What is the MCU short for? MCU. Hang on, I've got to change my pen. All right, don't laugh. 10 seconds and I've got a new pen. This one. I'm not addicted to comic book characters, but they are pretty cool, right? Yeah, this is a cool pen. I've had this a pen for about 15 years and I replaced the middle bit, the ink stuff, so I can keep using the same pen. Anyway, what is MCU short for? MCU is short for Marvel Cinematic Universe. What does MCU stand for? MCU stands for Marvel Cinematic Universe. Right. The Marvel. Let's call it the Marvel, right? The Marvel Cinematic Universe. Right. So you could practice this question with other words. So what does NATO stand for? That's a different question itself. What is NASA short for? Right. Perhaps you could search those two things. Probably spelt them wrong. And then maybe you could comment below with the answers using the structure above. Question 5. What's the difference between a fan and a spoiler? Well, a spoiler is when you spoil the movie details, and a fan is somebody that loves movies. I don't think a fan would spoil a movie, right? So what's the difference? Well, I'm going to say loves because I think that's better than likes. A fan loves the movie, right? A spoiler reveals a plot, a show's plot or key details. All right. These are not really connected, so it's just practicing different examples. I'm going to crack on to the final 5 questions for the review. So use cliffhanger in a sentence. Previous video used the Italian job. I'm going to use I'm going to just make up a different kind of sentence here. So use cliffhanger in a sentence. I really don't like cliffhangers at the end of a drama season or something, right? A drama season. Now, the reason I don't like cliffhangers at the end of a drama season, I want to use that because I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait like 6 months, right? For the next episode, for the result, for the story to continue. Okay. So I think cliffhangers at the end of episodes are pretty cool, but I personally don't enjoy cliffhangers at the end of a drama season because I don't want to wait 6 months or a year for the new series or the new season to come out, and then you finally have the answer to whatever that cliffhanger was. You can wait a week. That's not a problem at all. Name one polite way to start a conversation about shows. Okay, there's loads of different ways. May I talk about this movie I saw last week? It's called blah, blah, blah. Right? We're using may. May I is a nice polite way to ask permission from somebody. May I? Is it okay? Do you mind? May I talk about this movie I saw last week? It's called. You can also, in a natural way, would it be okay if I talk about. I know what my problem is. The latest episode of blah, blah, blah. And then you're doing that as a question as well, right? That's a question as well. So you're getting someone's permission before you tell them about it, the TV show or a movie. Number 8. Why do people rewatch old seasons before new episodes drop? Well, they might have forgotten what happened last time, which is good to get in the mood. So I like to rewatch old seasons before new episodes drop to and we can have loads of different examples, but I'll just go for 3. Get in the mood for new episodes. Remind myself of the story. Or what else might I rewatch? Yep, I might remind myself, or just to enjoy. Yeah, to enjoy it again. Sometimes you just want to watch it again because it's just time to get ready and enjoy that stuff again. Number 9, translate tradition into your native language. Well, I'm not going to do that here because my native language is English, so ta-da. But what you could do is in the comments, right? Why don't you, if you're a Korean speaker, why don't you translate that into Korean? If you're a native speaker from another place, tell me where you're from, and why don't you tell me what the word tradition means in your language and how that's translated? Maybe give an example. Why is it important to avoid spoilers when talking to friends? Well, assuming you want to stay friends, you should avoid spoilers because it's annoying and it's rude. I think the main reason when talking to friends is it is important to avoid spoilers. When talking to friends, it is important to avoid spoilers. I'll write this out for you so you can see how the question helps you set up the answer. When talking to friends, comma, instead of is it, because why is it is part of the question structure. So if we swap the positions, it is important to avoid spoilers. It's basic etiquette and manner, right? Because since it's a why question, the answer will contain because. And then you can put your answer there, right? I'll give you a couple of examples. When talking to friends, it's important to avoid spoilers because it's mean to spoil shows. It's bloody horrible to spoil shows, right? Maybe you want You want to remain friends. A good way to lose friends and alienate people is to tell them all the spoilers. Let's think of another one. When talking to friends, it's important to avoid spoilers because nobody likes a spoiler, right? Nobody likes a spoiler. Right, that was the end of chapter 1. I hope this was helpful. I don't know if this was brilliant, but it's the first time, so we're still learning. Thank you. You see that? Comment below. Positive, constructive feedback would be appreciated. The point of these videos is to be super simple, follow along, enjoy, and have something to help you with your own sentences. Please use the comments below, and I'll do my best to help you with your own sentences. Cheerio, toodaloo.